राधा जय कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ जय गिरिवराधारी जय गिरिवराधारी यशोदानन्दना व्रजनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दना व्रजनरञ्जन यमुनतीरावनचारि यमुनतीरावनचारि जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा गिरिधरी श्री राधे जय राधा गिरिधरी श्री राधे जय गौरानिताय श्री श्री गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय गौरानिताय श्री श्री गौरानिताय जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेवा जय सुभद्रमयी जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेवा जय सुभद्रमयी जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय गुरुदेव जय गुरुदेव जगद्गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय श्री गुरुदेव की जय भागवत महाग्रंथ की जय प्रेमानंदी all glories to the assembled devotees all glories to the assembled devotees वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनंतकोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय हरे कृष्णा एवरीवन प्लीज वेलकम टू दिस मॉर्निंग सेशन ऑफ श्रीमद् भागवतम. So I seek blessings from all of you. Please bless me so that I can deliver the right message of Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Thank you. we'll start with Srila Prabhupada Lilamrit. Please bear with me. I am going to share the screen. Are you able to see, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So we are reading Srila Prabhupada Lilamrit, chapter 22. Swamiji invites hippies. The chapter name is, and the page number 572. Thank you so much. Bonnie and Gary were initiated just 2 weeks after they had met Swamiji. Bonnie's initiated name was Govinda Dasi, and Gary's was Gaurasundara. Although still dressed in blue jeans, even at their initiation, and not professing to know much what was going on, they had confidence in Swamiji. They knew that their minds were still hazy from drugs, but they took their initiation seriously and became strict followers. Gaurasundara threw out whatever marjana he had, and he and Govinda Dasi began eating only food they had offered to Lord Krishna. 2 weeks after their initiation, Swamiji conducted their marriage ceremony. On the evening of the wedding, Govinda Dasi's father came from Texas, even though he objected to Krishna consciousness as radically un-American. Walking up to Srila Prabhupada's seat in the temple, Govinda Das's father asked him, "Why do you have to change my daughter's name? Why does she have to have an Indian name?" Prabhupada looked at him and then, with mischievous gleam, looked at Mr. Patel, an Indian guest standing nearby with his family. "You don't like Indians?" he asked. Everyone who had Swamiji laughed, except for Govinda Dasi's father, who replied, "Well, yeah, they are all right. But why does Bonnie have to have different name?" "Because she has asked me to give her one," Srila Prabhupada replied. "If you love her, you will like what she likes. Your daughter is happy. Why do you object?" The discussion ended there, and Govinda Das's father remained civil. Later, he enjoyed taking prasadam with his daughter and son-in-law. Govinda Dasi. Gaurasundara and I set about reading three volumes of Swamiji's Srimad Bhagavatam. And at the same time, Swamiji had told me to paint a large canvas of Radha and Krishna and a cow. So every day for the whole day, I would paint, and Gaurasundara would read out loud from the Srimad Bhagavatam, one volume after another. We did this continuously for 2 months. During this time, Swamiji also asked me to do portrait of him standing before background painting of Lord Chaitanya dancing. Swamiji wanted it so that Lord Chaitanya's foot would be touching his head. I tried. It was a pretty horrible painting, and yet he was happy with it. Prabhupada's thoughtful followers felt that some of the candidates for initiation did not intend to fulfill the exclusive lifelong commitment a disciple owes to his guru, Swamiji. They would say, some of those people come only for their initiation. We have never seen them before, and we never see them again. Srila Prabhupada replied that that was the risk he had to take. One day in a lecture in the temple, he explained that although the reactions for disciples' past sins are removed at initiation, the spiritual master remains responsible until the disciple is delivered from the material world. Therefore, he said, Lord Chaitanya warned that Guru should not accept many disciples. One night in the temple during the question and answer session, a big bad fellow raised his hand and asked Prabhupada, "Can I become initiated?" The brash public request annoyed some Prabhupada's followers, but Prabhupada was serene. "Yes," he replied. "But first you must answer 2 questions. Who is Krishna?" The boy thought for a moment and said, "Krishna is God." "Yes," Prabhupada replied. "And who are you?" Again the boy thought for a moment and then replied, "I am servant of the God." "Very good," Prabhupada said. "Yes, you can be initiated tomorrow." Srila Prabhupada knew that it would be difficult for his Western disciples to stick to Krishna consciousness, and attain the goal of pure devotional service. All their lives they had had the vast of training, and despite their nominal Christianity and philosophical searching, most of them knew nothing of the science of God. They did not even know that illicit sex and meat eating were wrong, although when he told them they accepted what he said and they freely chanted Hare Krishna, so how could he refuse them? Thank you, Mataji. Can I stop it here?
Yes, thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, thank you. So, I will share the verse we are talking today. Can you see the verse, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. So we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam today from the Canto 4, Chapter 29, talks between Narada and King Rachanabari, and verse number 22. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Kalakanya jara saksat lokasta nabhinandati swasaram jagre mrityu kshaya yavaneswaraha. Kalakanya jara saksat lokastam nabhinandati swasaram jagre mrityu Sasyaya Yavaneswaraha. Kalakanya jara saksat lokastam nabhinandati swasaram jagre mrityuhu sasyasya Yavaneswaraha. Anybody would like to recite? Please welcome.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji.
Kalakanna jara sakshal lokastam na vidandati sasaram jagre mittu sasaya yavanashara. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, I am also trying.
Yeah, please, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Kalakanya jara sakshal lokostang nabhinandati swaswarang jagrihe mrittuhu kayaya yavanesharaha. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Please welcome.
Kalakanya yara sakshal lokastam nabhinandati swasharam jagrihe mrittuhu kshayaya yavaneshwaraha. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. I am also trying.
Yes, Mataji, please.
Kalakanya jara saksal lokastam nabhinandati sasarang jagrihe mrityu sayaya javanesharaha.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam. Please.
Kalakanya jara sakshal lokastam nabhinandati swasaram jagrihe mrityu chayaya yavaneshwaraha. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Mataji, Hare Krishna. Anybody would like to recite? Otherwise, we go to synonyms. Please welcome. Would like to read synonyms?
I'll try, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji, please.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Synonyms by Srila Prabhupada. Kala Kanya, daughter of time. Jara, old age. Sakshat, directly. Loka, all the living entities. Tam, her. Na, never. Abhinandanti, Nandati, welcome. Swasharam, as a sister. Jagre, accepted. Mrityu, death. Shayaya, for destruction. Yavana, Ishwaraha, the king of Yavanas. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Anybody would like to read translation purport?
May I, Mataji, please?
Yes, Mataji, please.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. What was described as Kalakanya should be understood as old age. No one wants to accept old age, but Yavaneshwara, Yavan Raj, who is dead, accepts Jara, old age, as his sister. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Anybody would like to read purport?
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Encaged within the body, the living and being accepts Kalakanda, old age, just before death. Yavanashira is the emblem of death, Yamraj. Before going to the place of Yamraj, the living entity accepts Jara, old age, the sister of Yamraj. One is subjected to the influence of Yavanraj and his sister due to impious activity. Those who are in Krishna consciousness and are engaged in devotional service under the instruction of Narad Muni are not subjected to the influence of Yamraj and his sister Jara. If one is Krishna conscious, he conquers death. After leaving the material body, he does not accept another body that is material, but returns home back to Godhead. This is verified in Bhagavad Gita 4.9. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Hare Krishna. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Narayanam Namaskritya Namam Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Ashtaprayaso Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavati Sevaya Bhagavati Bhakti. Okay. Bhagavati Naistikim. Mukam karoti vachalam pangam langayate giriyat kripatamaham vande Sri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramanandamayam Sri Chaitanya Chandra Eswaram. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we read translation one more time. What was described as Kalakanya should be understood as a old age. No one wants to accept old age, but Yavaneswara, Yavanaraja, who is dead, accepts Jara, old age, as his sister. Thank you. Stopping the sharing. So today we are reading the Srimad Bhagavatam, the words saying about old age and death. And we have been hearing since many chapters about Puranjana, and after that how Narada is talking. So he's explaining again to Prachina Barhi. So at the beginning when the Prachina Barhi, so he was committing so many karmakandi rituals for sense gratification, killing animals, so many sacrifices, just for enjoyment. That time Narada Muni, by his causeless mercy, appeared and he explaining, so whatever you are following, so you cannot attain the happiness. And so the karma, the rituals, whatever you are doing to get rid of your sins, so it is not possible with this process. Then he started explaining the narration of allegory of his own character, the Prachinbari character, in the form of narration, allegory. So he was so merciful. Narada Muni actually is a spiritual master. He is a psychiatrist. So he knows how to diagnose the disease and how to treat also. So he understood Prachin he was involved in so many creative actions and he is getting lots of sins by killing the animals, animal sacrifices. So he thought of giving the right path. That is not the right process you have chosen to get rid of your sins and to get the happiness. There is other process. So he diagnosed his disease and also started treatment also. So in that, he was explaining you are not a body, you are a soul. So all these, so many explanations. This chapter 29, so he is again explaining the same thing, whatever he thought in the allegory. So whatever examples, analogies he has given in the chapter 28, he is explaining all these again to Prajin Barhi. So see his mercy. So he is not just telling this is the process. He is again asking whether you understood or not. The Prajin Barhi said, because I am not taken the path of religious activities and I cannot understand whatever you are saying. So devotees, the transcendentalists, they can understand whatever you are saying, but I am not able to understand what you are saying. Then Narada Muni started telling again in a elaboration. So all these, so whatever he thought, he was explaining in the form of allegory before. Here we see, so he was explaining the five serpent herd. So the five-headed serpent that is with five sense objects. So five jnanendriyas. So they, as a jiva, we are embodied jiva. So they are experiencing so many things by these jnanendriyas, by eyes, by ears, by nose, by tongue. We are experiencing. And we are living in the body which is having 9 gates. And Narada Muni started with the Prajnabarhi. See, the living entity, because of his karmas, because of his bad activities, it's taking birth again and again. It is changing his dress again and again. So different species like birds, animals, demigods, different bodies. And this is all because of your mind. So your mind, you are using your material intelligence. If you see the story of Prachina Puranjana, so he was listening to his wife. So the wife was compared with intelligence, material intelligence. So we heard that. So when she sits, he sits. When she eats, he also eats. When she walks, he walks. So everything depends on the activities of the wife, queen. So in that way, he was following the false intelligence, material intelligence. So he was warned. So you have to use your proper intelligence, not material intelligence. And also he was explaining the 9 gates of the body. So 2 ears, 2 nostrils, 2 eyes, 6 and rectum, anus, genitals. So these are the 9 gates. Through these 9 gates, you are experiencing so many things and you are performing activities, sometimes good, sometimes bad, and you are occurring the sins. And in this explanation, this chapter is elaboration of whatever explained in the 28th. And here we come to the point where Narada Muni is explaining Prachina Barhi, how you get the old age and what is the reasons you are getting the old age and why you are getting the death. All these reasons are given in this verse. If you see these words, in this verse, Jara, Kalakanya is also addressed and Raja, death also addressed. So if you see this verse, there are some topics like who is Kalakanya, who is Raj, and what are the impious activities, and why we have to be happy, why you are suffering, and what is the misconception of old age and how to overcome. So these are the topics we are going to discuss today. First we start with who is Kalakanya. So Kalakanya she is the daughter of time, Jara. She is also called Jara. Jara is nothing but invalidity of old age. So when you get old age, you are having no capacity to do things. All your limbs, all your organs, all your senses, they become weak. So invalidity, cannot do anything. So old age, that is Jara. And who is Avanaraj? Avanaraj is the emblem of death. Pada is given, is a emblem of death. So Jara is old age. Nobody generally doesn't, they don't like it. Old age, coming old age. They want to hide. They want to far away from the old age. They always want to be, try to be youth, young, with their actions, with their outfit, with their features. They want to show they are young. Nobody like old age. So that's why when Jara, she went to so many people, so could you please marry? So everybody rejected. But Evaneshwara, when she come to Evaneshwara instead of husband accepted Jara as a sister. So Prabhupada is writing, before you going to emerge, you definitely meet the Jara to come. So whether you know it, whether you unknow it, so it comes. So that means Jara is the one of the problem. Janma Mrityu Jara Vyati Dukkha Doranu Darsanam. So when you go any planet, Brahma Bhuvanar Loka Punaravritino Arjuna Mambubetita Kauntena Punarjanmana Jate. So Krishna is saying in 8th chapter, 16th verse. So wherever you go, this problem is there. These are the 4 problems. Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi. We cannot avoid. Even the highest planet, Brahmaloka, so we cannot avoid. So there may be the duration is long, but we cannot avoid this. And who is Avanaraj? He is the emblem of death. And if you see, why we are hankering for happiness? What is the reason? Anybody want to share? Why we want to be happy all the times? We don't want old age, we don't want this.
Mataji, it is our eternal character, Anandamaya Abhasha, being part and parcel of the Lord.
Yes.
We always
Thank
want to enjoy, we want to be happy.
Yes. So, Mamayavamsa Jivalokam. So, we are all parts and parcels of Lord. So, Lord is Sachidananda Vigraha, He always happy. So, because we are parts of the Lord, we want to be happy. We anchor the happiness everywhere. If one job is not good, we change. One dress is not okay, we change other dress. So, we change the positions. And we don't know, these are all flickering happiness. These are not permanent happiness. Still, we are hankering because that attitude is there. The tendency of happiness is never, it's an integral part of the jiva, actually. And why we do suffering? We always hankering for the happiness. Suppose you take a baby, when she crawls, so baby gets something on the floor, she eats, she gets happy. When she grows up, that she wants to share that happiness with parents. She the same thing. If she finds something she wants, whatever she eating, she tries to put in the mouth of parents, mommy, daddy. So she is sharing that love. She is extending the love. When she grows bigger, she gives that same love, that happiness to the family members. And in that way, it goes to the society, nation. So that happiness, that loving principle. So this is the living force, the loving principle, that happiness is the living force. It never stops. It goes until it reaches the lotus feet of Lord, that happiness. So that's why we always hanker. We want to see the happiness. So the so-called material world, it is a dukhalaya sasvatam. We get the miseries. We don't get any happiness until we reach the lotus feet of Lord, until we connect to the Lord. Till that time, we always suffer. So why do we suffer? Means we lost that connection with the Lord. So we forgot our swarupa, real identity, our constitutional position. So it is eternal occupation. So we are servants of Lord. We forgot that principle. That's why we are suffering. That's why we are having these four principles: Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. And so these Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi, we are entangled with these four problems because of impious activities. Prabhupada wrote in the translation that is because of impious activities. What is impious activities? What are the religious principles? Prabhupada says it is adharma, religious principle. So when you are taken these religious principles, we are going to be take these four problems. It's like a package. When you take a birth, it's like a package. The death is there, and old age is there, disease also there. So just like in a material world, if you buy something, so they give some package. That it's like a gift packages. It's a startup. The same way, when you take birth, you get all these things like a package. We cannot avoid it. And these four miseries we can stop when you completely out of this material entanglement and take the shelter of the Lord. So Prabhupada says, those who are doing the impious activities, that means they are controlled by Maya. Those who are doing the pious activity, that means they are controlled by Krishna. So there are two ways to you serve. You have to decide to whom to serve, whether to Maya or to Lord. When you are serving the Lord, when you are in the devotional service, so these activities, whatever you are doing activities, they become pious. But as long as you are in the ignorance, so as long as you are in the enjoying tendency, what happens? All these activities, whatever you are doing, it's make you bondage. You will fall into the bondage and they become impious. So what are the some examples? Anybody wants to share what are the impious activities generally?
Meat eating, illicit sex, intoxication, gambling.
Yes, Mataji, these are regulative principles. So these are irreligious principles, generally for regulative. That's why Prabhupada, when you take the Diksha, he made a standard of that you are following these principles or not. These four principles, no meat eating, so meat eating and illicit sex, gambling, intoxication. So these are all against the pillar of dharma. So four pillars of dharma. They are against them, against the cleanliness, against the austerity, against the daya. So truthfulness. That's why these are impious activities. So these impious activities means you are controlled by Maya. You are in the ignorance. Actually, Maya is controlling you. So you are away from this four regulative principles. That means four these religious activities. That means you are in the devotional path. So you are controlled by Krishna. You are connected to Krishna and you are guided by Krishna. You are maintained by Krishna. So these are the activities given for the impious activities. And there is a verse in Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, third chapter, 17th verse. I would like to share that. Just a second. I'm going to share that verse. Are you able to see this one? Are you able to see?
Yes, Mataji, we can see.
Yeah. So this is verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, third chapter, 17th. Would anybody like to read the verse, Prabhuji? Mataji?
Hare Krishna, Mataji, I am reading it.
Yes, please.
Ayurharati voi pungsam uttanastam chayanasau tasya ite jat 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 shkano nita uttama shloka vartaya.
Yeah. So please read the translation, please.
Both by rising and setting, the sun decreases the duration of life of everyone, except one who utilizes the time by discussing topics of all good personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So this is very important message how you are utilizing it. So the people who are using that time in a proper way, that means they are utilizing, they are in the right way. If the people who are utilizing the time for the enjoyment, for other activities apart from the devotion, that means their duration of life is slowly going down. So we will discuss more about this one. I'm stopping the screen. So in this verse, Prabhupada is explaining the destination of the devotees. So when the sun rises and it sets, that means one day is gone. So during that day, each and every second is counted. If you are not utilizing those seconds, those minutes for the time properly for the serving Lord, that means your time is wasted. The destination of devotees, whoever they are not utilizing the time, that means the sunrise and sunset, the time duration of life is reduced slowly. The perception of the devotees, the duration of the time reduced, that means they are going towards the death if they are not utilizing the time. For the devotees, the conception is entirely different. So the destiny of the devotees is, it's not death, it is going back to Godhead. Two different destinations. How you are taking the time in a proper way, that is very important. This verse is explaining us how important the time is and how we have to utilize our time in the proper way. So devotees, they waste their time when they get up in the morning till the evening. They engage in the activities of enjoyment. So just like a four principle, eating, sleeping, mating, defending. So no God realization. They don't have a time to realize Lord. In the same way, devotees, if you see the devotees, they utilize each and every second properly in the service of Lord from the beginning, from the Brahma Muhurta, 4:30 time. So before that, even 4:30, they get up in the morning, they take bath and they get ready, they offer something to Lord, they chant. So many things. Prabhupada has given so many activities per day so that we will be busy. We are not wasting time. So in that way, they are not wasting time. They are not controlled by Maya. So for the other non-devotees, the duration of time is reduced and they are moving towards the death. That the devotees, the same time is helping them to move closer to the Lord. That is the difference. So they move closer to that. They connect more and more, day by day, second by second, minute by minute. They are closing to the Lord. So they ultimately they attain the kingdom of God. But the devotees, they end up with death. And they again take birth, again they go for the old age, they get the old age diseases. They are in the cycle of birth and death. So we have to stop that cycle by taking the shelter of Lord. And if you see lots of personalities, so many personalities like Srila Prabhupada. So even though he is old, so generally the tendency of people when they get retired means around 60, 65. Retired means they think retired from all the activities. What they do generally, if you go in India, they just stay at home and they meet friends, they talk to friends, they watch TVs, they go for walking. So nothing else. They just retired from. So the perception, how you perceive the old age, that is also very important. If you see the Westerners, they want to show they are not old. So they use so many artificial cosmetics, and anti-aging creams, anti-wrinkle creams, and they want to hide the old age. They want to show up they are not old, they want to young. How they are doing that? The mundane, the materialistic people, so those who want to enjoy, they want to show they are not old, they are young only, by keeping their body fit by other means like gym. They go to gym and they use the anti-aging tablets, supplements, so in order to hide their, and they want to show that they are active, but they don't know that the body, as the age is growing, the body becomes weak. If you see the fourth chapter, 28th, fourth canto, 28th chapter, the previous chapter, the third verse was explaining all these. When you are getting old, your eyes cannot see properly, your ears cannot hear, and your tongue cannot speak. You cannot talk, you cannot walk, you cannot do anything. So all your organs become weak, you cannot communicate. So many miseries start, so many problems will start. At the stage, we cannot focus on anything. But these materialistic people, they hide that, they hide the age, inability, that invalidity of the age, and they show up. And they, for that show up, they do lots of activities like exercise, yoga, and all these. And some people, they just sit at home because we are old, we cannot do anything. They stop doing everything and just watching TV and gossiping with the friends. But the perception of devotees is entirely different. So we can see both the cases. Non-devotees, they want to hide the old age, they want to show up by other means other than the God realization. But devotees entirely different. They use the time. When they are using the time properly, the old age also helps them to go towards the Lord. They don't need to hide the old age. Old age is like a package. It's a quality of the human beings, living entities. They get old age. Devotees, they don't mind whether they are old or young. They always engage in the services. If you see the Mataji's, Prabhuji's, they come to temple. So whether they are sick, whether they are not well, whether they are financially not fit, they, no circumstances can stop them to come and serve them. Whatever, it's raining, it's hot, it's cold, no matter. All situations, they come and serve Lord. They don't feel they are getting old because the inside, the soul is so active. These problems, Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi, old age, everything is only for the bodily symptoms, not for the soul. So as long as the soul is connected to the Lord, you feel joy. You don't feel old age, diseases. Srila Prabhupada, at the age of 70, he traveled in the Jaladota. So he had taken all the risks to save the society. So he can sit in Vrindavan, he can read, chant. No need to come. But he never mind that. That means he is not aware of that. He's not... old age is not problem for him, so he just ignored it. So old age also helped him because he is utilizing his time properly to serve the society. He got 2 times heart attack, still Lord protected, because his motto is different: to serve the Lord, to serve the devotees, serve the society. In the same way, Sanatana Goswami, so he has a habit of doing parikrama, Govardhana parikrama every day. You know the Govardhana parikrama, how many miles? So it is 29 miles. Every day he was walking. So all parikrama he was walking. So when he got old age, he's not stopping. That means old age is not as a barrier for him. So doing devotional service is very important. He never mind that I'm old, I want to stop it. Sometimes even devotees, they feel, I'm getting old, I have to stop this. So I cannot do it. I can stop this service. No, as long as you are engaged, the as long as you are engaged. So the old age also helps you. to get rid of all these misconceptions. And you see the Gadadhar Pandit, so he was getting, so he was worshipping Gopinath, so the Gopinath. If you go to Puri, we can see that temple still now. So he was worshipping, it was a tall deity. So he was getting old. Every day he was making garland, he was serving Lord, he was putting the garland, was doing all the decorations. So he was getting old, he can't stand up, he can't reach the deity on the top, on the face, he can't reach. That's why Lord became small. So Lord sees our sincere endeavors, how you are utilizing, whether you are taking, whether you are serving worthy person, whether you are serving the non-worthy person. So what are your activities? See his sincerity. So in this way, the people, how they perceive the old age is, it's also considered. The people who are in the devotion service, they don't mind whether they are getting old. So whether whether the death is arriving for them, and they are getting taking birth in different planets, they don't mind as long as they are engaging in the devotional service. You see the symptoms of the old age, like the white hair, wrinkles, body becomes so small when as you grow bigger. So there is a saying that when you grow big old age, you become like a small child. The body becomes so small. So even the devotees, even those situations, they don't mind. They don't mind whether I'm getting old or I'm getting wrinkles, my body is becoming small. They want to, the perception of the devotees to please the Lord. So they eat prasadam for the survive. The difference between devotees and non-devotees, how they place means, the non-devotees, materialistic people, they want to enjoy, they want to eat. So they are living to enjoy, they are living to eat. The motto is like that. For the devotees, they want to enjoy. When they get enjoy, when the Lord is pleased, that is their enjoyment. When Lord is get pleased, when the Lord is served properly, that is their enjoyment. That is their happiness. They seek happiness by serving the Lord. They also eat. It's not like a non-devotees only eat. Devotees also eat, but the perception is different. They take only prasadam. They take prasadam to survive, not for enjoyment, so that the body becomes fit, so that they can serve the Lord. See the different perceptions, devotees and non-devotees, how they take the time, how they utilize the time, and how they perceive the old age. So old age is burden for the non-devotees. Oh my God, I got the old age. I cannot do it. I cannot enjoy. I cannot go to pubs. I cannot go to parks. I cannot go to sports. I cannot play. It's like a burden for them. So I cannot eat. But non-devotees, there is no difference. As they becoming old means they become more sincere, they become more advanced, and they get realized that how I can use even every second for the utilization of Lord, for the service of the Lord. So they use the time properly. The non-devotees, they waste the time. That's why they are approaching the death very soon. So just like you see, um, Todd, the dog, croaks. Croaks in the rainy season, that means it is inviting death. Snake will come and eat. So if you are utilizing the senses for the enjoyment, means it is a characteristic of the old age. You are getting old age. In the modern age, even the people in the young age, they are getting old. That means obesity, there are so many other problems, and they are getting the diseases also because of improper lifestyles, not regular lifestyles, impious activities. So they adopt so many religious activities like eating anything, and the intoxication, they they take alcohols and all these. They start all sorts of gambling from the childhood and illicit sex. So many things. That's why the religious problems are going on from the childhood. And how to overcome this last point we are going to discuss how to overcome all these um, old age, death, and how to make our impious activities adharma into dharma. How to make all these in the Narada Pancharatra, Narada Muni says, Sarvopadi Vinamuktu, Tatparatena Nemanam, Shikena Shikesa, Devanam Bhakti Uttamam. So when you are engaging all your senses, so senses means upadhis means facilities. Facilities are given by Lord to you to enjoy. So these senses are utilizing how you are utilizing. So whether for your enjoyment, for the service of Lord. Sarvopadi vinunmaktam tatpratena nirmalam shikena shikesa sevanam bhakti. If you are using that senses, all the facilities in the service of Lord, so you will get rid of all these miseries, all these anarthas. That is one thing. And the other thing, so if you see the Bhagavad Gita, second chapter, 40 verse, Neha Bikramanasosti, Pratyavayona Vidyate. Swalpam api asya dharmasya, preto bhato bhayat. What is the biggest danger in the life? Anybody wants to say? What is the biggest danger?
Falling out of devotional service, Mataji.
Yeah, that is also there. So
Mataji, there are two aspects on that. For a devotee, it is, yes, to get separated from the Lord when he is not able to do that. But for a materialistic person, it is death, because that will take away everything. And so
yes.
view it in a different way. The goals are different.
Yes, biggest danger actually it is coming into the material pool again and again, taking birth, taking again death because of desires. They take again and again, falling into the material pool. Yes, as you said that devotee's aspect is different, it's falling from the devotion. But if you see in general, the biggest danger is falling into the material pool. So Krishna is saying that Swalpam apyasya dharmasya, if you take up this process even little bit, it saves you from the biggest danger of falling into the material pool. So that is the biggest danger. So in that way, we will be away from these miseries, from impious activities. So actually, what is our occupational duty? Jivena Sarupaye Krishnena Nityadas. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya 20th chapter 108 verse says, we are eternal servants of Lord. So because we lost our connection, we lost that dharma, Sanatana dharma, that's why we are suffering here. As long as you establish that relation, that connection with the Lord by taking up the devotional service by the order of Guru, to the instruction of Guru, so you will be connected to the Lord. You revive your constitutional position as you are a servant of Lord. Then all problems will be solved. And also in the translation, Prabhupada is saying that 4.9. So Prabhupada is saying that 4.9, if you see the Bhagavad Gita, Janma karma cha me divyam, evam evoti tatpata. Tattva jnanam punarjanma naiti mamayati. So Arjuna. So whoever understands my glories, my transcendental abode, so who knows me as it is, they will not take birth again and again. So they will be free from all these miseries, these problems, old age, death. So taking birth, going to death, all these problems will be eradicated. And also, Srila Sukadeva Goswami is saying in the Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, 4th chapter, 15th verse. So what we have to do? how you are engaging all your senses in the service of Lord. So he is saying that et kirtanam, et smaranam, et ikshanam, et vandanam, et sravanam, et arhanam. So lokasya sajjo vidunoti kalmasham. Tasmai subhadra sravate namo namaha. So you are all auspicious. So whoever take up this 9 process of devotion service, whoever thinks about you, whoever glorify you, whoever chant about you, whoever remembers you, whoever sees you, take a darshan. So they will be free from all anarthas. So that's why you are so auspicious. So it is very important to take the shelter of you so that all our kalmashas will be by chanting your name, by worshipping you, by taking the process of devotion service, all our anarthas will be removed. And also in the second chapter, 14th, second canto, the first canto, second chapter, 14th verse. So Sukadeva Goswami says, Tasmat ekena manasa, Bhagavan Saraswatam Pati. Strotavya, Kirtanasya, and Dhyayasya, Pujayasya, Nityada. So we have to do. So the same thing is explained in Bhagavad Gita also, 9th chapter, 34th verse. Manmana bhava bhakto majja jivanam. So always remembering me and always worship me. So when you do this, all our anarthas, all our misconceptions will give away. Then we will come to the pure platform of goodness. From there, we start devotion service. So everything depends on the devotion, how you are utilizing your science, and how you are utilizing your intelligence. If you are using that buddhi, intelligence in a proper way, and you are utilizing the time. So Krishna gives that intelligence how to use that time also. If you are sincere devotee, if you are sincerely serving him, he gives the information, how he gives the intelligence, how you utilize the time in a proper way. In that way, Jara also helps the devotees to approach Krishna without any disturbances. For the non-devotees, Jara, it's like a disturbance. So that ended with death. They see the hemorrhage. So before they see hemorrhage, all the souls, embodied souls, they get Jara, disease, that old age. And the next step of the old age is they get lots of diseases. When they get diseases, they are not able to chant, they are not able to see the Lord, they cannot do the worship, so many devotion services. It is a disturbance. So in that way, always try to engage in the devotion service, utilize the time properly, the service of Lord. In that way, we can connect to the Lord at the end of the lifetime. Definitely, so Krishna is guaranteed Ananya Chintayastamam. So without any other avocations, just think about me, remember me. So at the end, I am giving that homage, I am giving that assurance, I will take care of you. So that's what in the Saranagati also it says. So maintenance. So you have to have a great faith. He is the protector, he is the maintainer. So with that faith, if you are doing your sincere duties, sincere activities to please the Lord, definitely he comes. Whenever a child cries, so first when the child cries, mother gives one toy. If she actually will be busy with other things. Still child is crying, what happens? She leaves everything and takes the child in the lap. So that's where the child becomes so happy. So if you are crying, if you are doing sincere efforts without wasting time sincerely to the Lord, you are engaging all your senses, not for your enjoyment, for the pleasing the Lord, definitely Lord will come at the end of the time. He will protect you. So that faith you should have. With that faith, you have to move so that we can utilize our time properly in the service of Lord. So I would like to conclude it here. Today we learned what are the various symptoms of old age, how different devotees, different people perceive it. also, like non-devotees, devotees, how they take it. And also we discussed the verse from second canto, third chapter, 17th verse, how the time, the sunset and sunset, the duration of life, which is different for devotees and non-devotees, and what are the various methods to overcome this old age, and different conceptions, misconceptions, how you take it in positive way, and how you utilize your service, your senses, your body, your intelligence in the service of Lord. So these things we have discussed now. So I would like to conclude it now. So if anything is missing, please try to add. You can add your comments, please. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam,
Such a
Prabhuji.
nice explanation of the small text of this 22. Yeah, it's very important to understand the perception of utilizing the time is the most important thing. As you mentioned, everybody is growing old, but the question is after the retirement or even in during the active days also, how you utilize the time is much more important than anything else. So the differences is that normal people utilize the time for their sense enjoyment, and the devotees or who are pious, they engage their time in the satisfaction of Krishna. That's the main difference, as you can see, and he explained so nicely. So that's perception tells us how you lead up life. It is very important. Time is passing on every day, every moment, every second. But utilizing the time in a proper concept of life is the most important thing in human life. And that is how the slokas is telling. Janma Mrityu Jaravadi is common for each and every living entity, whether he is
Yes,
a devotee or a common man. But question how you are utilizing the time. That
yes,
is how the text tells us and warn us so that we can utilize our time in a proper manner so that we, even though we are growing old, we can utilize the time in the service of the life so that at the end of life, the destination can be decided by ourselves only through the service to the Lord.
yes,
So one goes to downward, one goes to upward. That's the difference. Destination will always be there for both of the
yes.
persons. But it is a question we want to go upward or downward.
Mhm.
So Prabhupada has given such a good platform. He says, with his own example, even at the age of 70, went to America for
Yes,
what? For the welfare of the people in general.
yes, yes,
Not thinking of that he is growing old, so he can just sit at ease in Vrindavan and enjoy the life, old age. But he didn't do so, giving us the understanding that age is his number. The, the whole purpose of our human life needs to be understood. And for that purpose only, you went to West and change the whole perception of our life in the West. And from there, the flow has come to India back to us, reviving the old civilization, that God consciousness, so that people can enjoy the life in the right perspective,
yes,
in spite of wandering here and there, and ultimately fall prey to this cycle of birth and death.
yes.
So that was the message. Thank you so much, giving a clear picture through Bhagavatam and examples. So telling us the people we are growing old, but to utilize the time in the right perspective. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for adding so many points. Hare Krishna. Anybody would like to add some more points? Any more points? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, thank you very much for the nice class. It appears there is no other person to make comments.
Okay,
So
Babaji.
the class may be ended. Hare
Yeah.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Babaji.
Vancha kalpotarubhyascha
पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। आज ग्रेट सावित्री माता जी की जय। शिला प्रभुपाद की जय। गौर
Hare
प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। All glories to the assembled devotees.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.